So 10% after 3 years of nothing. Our reservoirs right now are at 20%. Last year, our pumping, we drilled our water table for pumping here because we don't have that much water coming underground in the aquifers because no snow in the mountains. We took the water table down 40 feet. We don't know how far we're going to take the water table down this year with everybody pumping because the only water we have is what we can pump. You saw some water in our river last night. I told some of you that that little river produces more agricultural products in all but four than the River Nile. Our Fresno County that we're in produces more agricultural products in all but 4 states in the union. And that's just one little county. When you put any of our counties together here in the San Joaquin Valley, well, my dad used to say, if you think it's better on the other side of the fence, you better put a little more water on, a little more fertilizer, because this is the most productive agricultural in the world, bar none. What is it, the Anwar Dam in China? They're kind of on our same lateral. They have the potential to become as productive as us. We don't know that they will, but that's the only place that can even compete with how rich agriculturally products that we can produce here. 342 different crops, leader in the nation of 48 of those. So we are in the agricultural area. Is water going to be taken care of for agriculture that puts the fruits and vegetables and everything on tables all around the United States? Well, our legislators have chosen other things to put their money in. All of our infrastructure was done after World War II. All the dams were built, all the canals were built, and there were plans for other reservoirs and whatnot as our population grew. Since that time, we have tripled our population in California, and every 4 houses that's built takes enough water for 1 acre of agricultural use. And in 20-25 years here in California, we're supposed to double again. So where we as farmers find ourselves is, the reality of it is they're never going to catch up with water to have enough water for all the agriculture that we're using and for the people that are going to be here. So where's the water going to be used? Well, if you follow the votes, we as in agriculture know that we lose. We don't have any votes. If you follow the money, there's a meter on everybody's home in California, and that metered water that goes into their houses, they are paid right at $2,000 an acre foot for that. It takes 4 acre feet to make a crop out here. So at $2,000 an acre foot, that's $8,000 an acre a year for water. We lose. We can't afford to do that. Our California legislature last session, the last day, without having conference or talking, took away the underground water rights from everybody in California. And they just took them. Ever since there's been deeds given in California, the water on the ground that you buy was the person that owned the land. That's no more in California. Now the legislature owns it. So what we see happening to agriculture here is that they will measure the snowpack. They will measure how much water is in the reservoirs. They will predict how much water the people need, and they will be cutting them back every way that they can. They will put meters on our wells, and then they'll tell us how much water that we can pump. So if we have 4,000, 5,000 acres of tree fruit, and they tell us that we can pump enough water for 2,000 acres, we have 3,000 acres that we can't farm. And basically that's the direction of where we're going. What's that going to do for agriculture? I don't know. There's a lot of things in the world we don't know what's going to happen to all of it. But about 8 years ago, my family and I sat around the table. We're from a 7th-generation farming family. We came from wherever, Ireland, England, whatever, landed in North Carolina to Tennessee, and that was 1700s, 1800s to Tennessee. My father came out here as a farm laborer in 1934. And I think that really we as a family will be some of the last ones standing as we go through all of this. But I'm not sure about my grandchildren if they can make a living in what we're doing unless the price per box goes up to 100, 150 bucks. And it might, I don't know. But for what we see in front of us and all of the regulations and the government and everything, we see that it's going to be quite difficult. And that's why when my dad said, "You think it's greener on the other side of the fence?" we said, we might better try the other side of the fence. That's when we as a family started moving to Mexico. They have great land, they have great water, they have labor source, and they love us. The government comes and builds roads for us, brings in electricity, says give our people jobs. We want them to work and be able to make money and bring the economy up. And we've started in Peru now. So I tell the kids now, I said, well, I hope we're successful enough over there to keep up our bad habit over here and be able to stay in business here. But that's kind of an overview of how serious water is to us in agriculture. And we don't know where it's going to hang up or end up. Now, there is an El Nino coming in Peru. I'll be there next week. And their government is spending, what, $86 million, I read, just to get ready for El Nino, because the water, the ocean water, is warmer right now than it was at this time when we had the last El Nino. So when those warm waters in the ocean collide, that's what causes the El Nino. And we could get rid of our drought in 1 year if we get 20 feet of snow and, you know, they fill up the reservoirs and all of that. They say, no, it's going to take 10 years or whatever. Our last drought, 1 year, nobody knew there was a drought before. So we don't know what the future holds on that, but there is a El Nino coming. Hopefully, you know, that'll take care of our problem for a while. But the long range is just what I told you. That's a situation that we are in. Any question on that? Probably took longer than what you even cared to hear.
That was very informative.
Hey, we're heading home.